Hello fellow amiibo trainers, welcome to the first episode of Amiibo Theory. This series will be about theory crafting in the amiibo metagame. If you have trained amiibo long enough, you're probably familiar with how they interact against projectile spam. Getting hit by 2 consecutive projectiles will cause the mule to form what I like to call a panic aerial. This can sometimes be triggered by 1 or less projectiles, because the mule will read sometimes, as I'm sure you all know, but it's most common after 2. I believe the default panic aerial for most characters is neutral air, but the exceptions to this are the characters that like to spam multi-hit down airs, like Peach or Mario, as they probably use this instead as their panic aerial. Right now you're watching footage of Lucina performing a panic aerial. Terribly, I might add. Nearly every time she uses neutral air, it's 7 feet above the enemy's head and it whiffs completely. She usually ends up falling into another projectile or just getting up smashed and dying. If I've ever told you that Lucina shouldn't use Nair, this is why. She misses it most of the time. After watching my amiibo fall to many MiDe gunners, I've started to wonder how I can fix this issue without compromising the pre-existing playstyle of my amiibo. So the solution I came up with was a custom stage. Sorry about the image quality, by the way, as Nintendo's just bad at everything, I guess. Anyways, the stage is very simple. It has small blast zones, a strong wind pointing up, and a platform to spawn on that has no grabbable ledges. Now, once you're on the stage, actual training is pretty simple. All you have to do is hit them up, and then use whatever aerials you want as they float in the air. Now, I do not recommend this for juggling. Juggling should be done on a normal Omega stage, right? This is just to help control what aerials your amiibo uses without influencing how much they jump. You won't use this for juggling as you want your amiibo to jump to juggle, obviously. So this is just for aerials without jumping, which is pretty useful in my opinion. Now you should do this before they're level 50, unlike in this clip. I would recommend it around the late 20s, before they start unlocking their full AI, because as you can see, once they have their full AI, they will drift down in certain situations. It just generally becomes harder to train. They might start using random aerials, they might start air dodging. You just generally want to avoid all that and just have something that sits there and floats around so you can swing at it freely. Because when they're floating around, they're kind of hard to hit. I mean, it's either that or I'm bad at the game, which can't possibly be true. Alright guys, I bet you're wondering how much this training method will cause for me able to jump. So was I, so I devised an experiment to find out. So I trained 2 Lucina amiibo. The first was trained with a grounded forward smash style of play, with slight up air juggling. I also did post level 50 forward air edge guard training, but the Lucina amiibo never really picked up on that, and I don't know why. The second Lucina amiibo was trained with the same grounded style, except I did the forward air edge guarding before she reached level 50, and now she does it about a third of the time. She was also given a 5-minute match on the custom stage where I mainly focused on hitting her with forward air, down air, and back air. And as you can hopefully see, they generally play the same against the control of level 1 Mario CPU. The Lucina on the left received no custom stage training, while the one on the right did. And for this experiment, I gave each Lucina 3 matches against the control, 3 matches against a projectile spamming wolf, and recorded their aerial usage. So, this is the data from the matches against Mario. Now it may look like that custom stage training caused a large increase in jumps, but you have to remember that this is over 3 matches, and the custom stage Lucina actually edge guards. I would estimate the custom stage Lucina on average only jumped once or twice more per match than the normal Lucina, assuming we ignore edge guard situations. Now looking at the data for matches against the projectile spamming wolf, we can see that custom stage aerial training successfully changed Lucina's panic aerial from neutral air to a mixture of forward air and down air while maintaining similar aerial usage overall. But at the end of the day, I have to ask the question, does this even improve our odds of winning? And I believe it does. The purpose of this training is to gain more control over your amiibo by changing their panic aerial. And in that regard, I would say this was a success. This training also gives grounded style amiibo a fighting chance in the air without causing them to spam jump. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode of Amiibo Theory. This video took a long time to make, and my voice is dying. I hope you guys liked it. This has been MiDe, and peace out, friends.